Hey everybody, Cole here with Classic Mini DIY. Today, I've got a giveaway for you guys. And it's not like my other giveaways. It's not super fancy parts. It's not brand new things. But I am calling this giveaway the Cleaning Out Your Closet giveaway. And this giveaway is focused specifically on giving away old mini parts that I don't need, but somebody else could use. And they may or may not work. They're used. They're in okay condition. Some of them are completely broken and would need some work to get them working again. But they're all pretty good parts, and they definitely could find a place with someone who really needs them. So, I'm going to start going through my parts, and I've got a lot of them to give away. But before I do, I want to explain to you guys how I'm going to be doing this. So, like my other giveaways, I've been using a tool called Gleam, and it's basically just a site that you guys can go to and get entries for like visiting my social media stuff and subscribing and blah blah blah, all those kinds of things. And I am going to be using that tool on this giveaway as well, but the difference is that I have no idea which one of these parts you guys would want. So if you won, I wouldn't know, and I don't want to just send you off with some random part. But if any of these parts sound cool to you, go ahead and head over to the link in the description below and go ahead and sign up for the giveaway. And what I'll be doing is, for every single part that I have here, I'll be drawing a single name. And the first person's name that I draw obviously gets the first choice of the parts that I've got here. The second name that I draw gets the second choice of the parts here. And so on and so forth. And in the event that you don't want any of the parts that are left over, say you are number 6 in the name drawing, and none of the parts that are left over there really speak to you or are something that you would want to use, then you can give up your entry and I'll just draw another name. So without further ado, let's get into the different parts that I've got. So some of this stuff came directly off of my car, whereas other stuff I accumulated over the years from, I don't even know how I got it. But to start off, I have a dual HS2 carburetor intake manifold with a fancy brass fitting that is definitely not standard. And this would work perfectly if you've got HS2 carburetors that you need a manifold for. So, part number 1. The next thing I'm going to be giving away is my old free flow exhaust. Now this is a single part exhaust, and this pipe right here is a little bit larger to allow additional gas to come out. It's a little rusty, but it's painted, and it should hold up if you want to use it on your car. And also, it has a sensor hole if you want to add like an AEM fuel ratio mixture sensor right there. So that's pretty neat. And as you can probably see, the exhaust is cut off on the end. If you don't know why that happened, check the link up here in the corner. That'll show you guys exactly what happened. But long story short, I had to cut this out because I was getting really frustrated. So if you guys get this exhaust, you'll need a little bit of welding skill, but I will send it along with the part that it needs in order to make that bend down at the bottom. And I'll go ahead and send along the extension pipe as well. This is used to go from the bottom of the exhaust to the exhaust system that goes to the back of the car. This is not required for ManaFlow systems. They have like a dual collector system at the bottom, and it replaces this part. But for single pipes, need it. The next thing I have is a beautiful radiator right here. And this radiator came out of my car. I think it has a little leak in it. I remember taking it off because I think it had a leak, but I don't really know where the leak is, and you might be able to get it fixed. You might not, but it's free, so if somebody wants this, it's just a stock radiator with a cool little 23 pin inside the fins. Next up, we've got an alternator with a slightly, very slightly worn out bearing. It's not too bad. It still charges and it still works, it's just the bearing's a little loud. I'm sure you can fix that. I don't know, I've never tried that before. Next up, I'm going to be doing this one as a kit because I don't know that I want to give them away separately. But I'm going to be giving away my Molten Smooth-A-Ride cones. You can actually see on the cones here, if I can get that to focus, it says Alex Molten, which means that they are good cones. They're very soft, very comfortable, and would be great for anyone who's looking for a smoother ride on their car. Get it? Smoother ride? But the cool part is I'm also going to be including the high-lows on these. The reason I'm going to be including these with the cones is because I can't get this out myself. So it's just going to come with it. This does come with all 4 of the cones, including the high-lows for the front of the car. So you'll be able to put these on your car and have a relatively smooth ride. They are about a year, maybe 2 years old. I actually can't remember how old these cones are, but they're not compressed yet. They're a little depressed, but not anything crazy. The next thing I've got is an oil pickup line. This goes inside your motor, and it's what your oil pump actually uses to suck oil out of your engine. So it gets sucked into this mesh here, goes up into the pipe, and then goes through the rest of your motor and lubricates your motor. And I'm not sure who would need this. Maybe you're in the middle of an engine rebuild and you don't have one for some reason. But here it is. It's a stock oil pickup. It's not a center pickup. But yeah, pretty cool. And now finally, the last thing I have is something that I imagine quite a few people would be looking for. And it is a Mark I heater core. Now, this is the heater core that I found particularly difficult to replace. It has a leak in it somewhere. I never figured out where the leak was, nor did I figure out whether or not it would be too difficult to seal. It might be, but these are getting increasingly rare, and as you can see, the heater matrix is the one that has the 2 connectors on the same side, so on the same face down here. This one is really difficult to find. The other one that you can get from just about every parts store is offset, so you have one on the bottom and one on the top. And then I think they make ones with the other side. I don't remember about that. Don't quote me on that, because I can't remember. But this could really help somebody out if they're willing to figure out where it's leaking and get it fixed. I'm sure you can, seal it. I don't know how these things get sealed, so, I'll leave that to somebody else who knows that a little bit better. But those are all the parts I have. As you can see, there's some kind of cool stuff in here. Some stuff that, people really would want. And then some stuff that, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't want, but it's free. It'll get shipped to your door. This is worldwide. I'll ship it anywhere. So if you're interested, head down to the link below and go ahead and enter in the giveaway. And the last thing is, if you haven't heard, I am in the process of trying to raise money to do a 7-port engine head conversion on my Mini. There's some really cool perks if you decide to donate different levels for different amounts of money. Head to the link in the description below and that'll give you some information about what I'm doing and how you can donate if you're interested. But for this giveaway, I'm only going to be running it for about 2 weeks. So for the next 14 days, and then once it's done, and I'll start sending out emails to the people who have won. But check back a little bit later this week. I will have my next Odd Jobs video, and I might have the next engine rebuild video. The parts finally got here because of the snow. It took forever, so I'm going to be filming that. That one takes me a little bit longer to film, but until those videos come out, motor on.